Hey, I'm just gonna try to get this real quick. I'm trying to do this quick. Why is there so much pain and suffering in the world, and so many horrific things happening to good people, happening to children, happening to babies? So much death and misery and disease and everything. Uh, if God is so good and loving, right? That's a question I get asked a lot. And the right answer, and you can only see it if you take every word and in the Bible back to its origin using the lexicons they were written in Strong's. Look. Uh, uh, this world isn't what we've been taught. It's a punishment. It's not a gift. It's a punishment for disobeying God and making ourselves our own idol. Our bodies are called an idol. Look at Genesis 1:26. Just look at it. Take every word back to its origin. The word image, especially an idol, a phantom, an illusion, the strong delusion, a show of vanity. We've made ourselves our own God. We've went astray like sheep, right? We're an eternal spiritual being that has left our first estate, and we were birthed into this world. It's a punishment. It's not what we've been taught by men. Now, free will is a gift, and that's why God knew we would screw up before He even created us. He knew it. He knew He'd have to come here and show us the way to come back home to paradise, right? To eternal life. That's why we have to be born again of the Spirit, reconnected back to Him spiritually. Because when we're born into this world, we're covered over in darkness, which is our flesh, which is inherently wicked and evil. And darkness is willful ignorance. And we've done so by our own free will, willfully ignorant, and most people don't want to know the truth. They'll never look into it. It's you know what, maybe I shouldn't say that, because I think everybody would love to know the truth, but the truth, unfortunately, well, I shouldn't even say unfortunately, can only be found in one place, and that's through Christ, through His Word. You have to come into an agreement with His Word. You have to humble yourself like a child, willing to learn directly from His Holy Spirit. That's the only way you can be awakened spiritually, and then you'll start to see the truth about everything. He'll show you. He'll reveal the truth to you. I know this goes against what the church is teaching. They're teaching something from a mistranslation from their fleshly understanding, just like Jesus told the spiritual leaders of His day. You're leading the people astray. You're of your father the devil, because He said we're all His children of the Most High. You are all Elohim. We're all Elohim, right? Angels, judges, magistrates, children of the Most High God, special possessions of the Supreme God. Understand that. Understand that. And but we've all went astray. We went our own way, and He warned us not to, but we disobeyed Him, right? There it is. And that's why there's so much pain and suffering in the world. Everything's designed to turn us back to Him. And this world is a chastisement. And we're supposed to wake up during this hour of testing is our lifetime. It's a period of time of each individual's life, right? And when you leave your physical form, you're caught up and taken home. If your belief and faith and trust in Christ, look, and He knows we're so deceived. He knows it. He's the perfect judge, right? So understand that. Why is there so much pain and suffering in this world if God is so good? Why did He tell Him to kill all the men, women, children in certain areas? You don't understand. Genetic manipulation, abominations, and that's what's going on now. Genetic manipulation, right? Through the mark of the beast, and they want to eventually put a brand or a tag eventually on all of us that'll hold all our information, who we are, where we are, what's going on, our banking, everything. So they can have complete control over your temple, your body, the third temple. Your body is the temple of the living God. It's supposed to be. But the abomination of desolation is when Satan, you allow him into it, you're being led astray by him, and he takes control of your body. Because until you're born again spiritually, you're being led around by your flesh, your own, leaning on your own knowledge and understanding, by your excessive pride in it, what you think you know. But you know nothing unless you're born again in the Spirit. And I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'll tell you what, I'm awake and I'm standing up. I've been stood up by Him. We're to arise and stand up as one. in Christ. Love and respect everybody, because we're all brothers and sisters in Christ, and that's the truth. Um, but if you reject him and you reject the truth that's only found in his word, then you're of your father of this world, who's given dominion and power and authority over you through your flesh, by fear, deception, intimidation, all these things that cater to your flesh. You're living in fear. I'd rather die, right, than to compromise myself and for the riches and things of this world. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul, right? Understand that. Okay. Like I said, there's a verse in the Bible, once you take it back to its origin, that's when Satan tempted Christ. I'll give you all the kingdoms of this world if you bow down and worship me. And he did not. He quoted scripture. He quoted God's word. Okay. You worship the Lord God and him alone. But the truth of the matter is, when you take these words back to their origin in the lexicon, it says, I will release all of your children I have taken captive. Because we're a kingdom divided within ourselves. Yin yang, good, evil, same flesh, same body. All right, so that's why there's suffering and misery in this world, because it's a punishment. The gift was free will, and the gift is his Holy Spirit, being born again of the Spirit, reconnected, get back to God spiritually. Because when we're born in this world, we're separated from him spiritually, right? We're deceived. We were deceived and led astray like sheep, being led to the slaughter. Understand that. So that's why there's so much pain and suffering in the world. We haven't been taught right by the churches, and Satan wants to keep it that way. He wants, and that's the worst thing. It's mainly the Christians and the so-called pastors and preachers and priests and whatever that keep. They're just, just like Jesus said. He said, if you teach the truth, you're going to be rejected. You're going to, and it's the church leaders, mainly the people of the church, supposedly in the church, supposedly, they think they are. They think they know something, but until you're born again in the Spirit, you won't be able to see it. Just like anything else, you have to see it for yourself. So when you study, use the lexicon, Strong's, but you have to be led by a Spirit. Otherwise, you won't see it. If you're just reading things on the surface, if you're just reading translations of men, you'll never see it. This is a punishment, and he came here to free us from this world, giving us his own life, the gift of his Holy Spirit, breathing life back into us, reconnecting us back to our Creator and our Father, so we can go home when our physical form passes. And I see a great number of people passing really quick, and I'm not sure, however he does that, but I don't think we've been taught everything correctly. You need to start looking into it for yourself so you can see the truth. Because if you love me, you'll abide in my word daily. And if doing so, you'll come to know the truth. And the truth is what sets you free from the fear of anything that happens in this world. And you start to understand why things are happening, and everything else. And just be aware that children and babies and when they pass prematurely or for whatever reasons, sickness, illness, whatever, they're taken home. They're taken back home. Okay? They'll envy the dead, right? In the end days. The living will envy the dead. Those who are living in a physical form will envy those who have passed on, because of all the horrific things that are about to happen. And we're getting closer and closer. It should become more and more apparent, because our freedoms, everything's being taken away from us. Everything. They want a complicit, young, strong generation that's completely brainwashed. And there is a war. There's always been a war since the first man here. War between good and evil. Control over your mind. What are you looking after? What do you want more than anything? You want a relationship with your Creator, your Father? You want to know the truth? Or are you being deceived by a lie, and you just live for all the physical pleasures and things of this world? What have you attached yourself to? What are you holding on to? That's going to dictate where you go when your physical form dies. I just don't think we've been taught right. I know we haven't been, period. I know it. So that's why That's why this world isn't a glorious gift being birthed into these physical forms. We made ourselves our own God, our own idol that we worship, and we follow it around. We're led by our flesh. We're deceived by it, covered over in darkness. Chains that bind us, DNA, chains of DNA. You know, there's so much, man. There's so much. I don't want to get into it all, but the reason there's so much pain and suffering in the world and things that don't seem right or unfair is because this world's a punishment. Okay, so understand that God's in complete control and He loves us all of us, every single person. He died for every single person. He wants us all to come back home to perfection, to paradise, where everything is just perfect. But He gave us free will and He allowed us to leave. We've went astray, right? Following our own way, making ourselves our own God. We're all called Gentiles, all of us. But when you're born again in the Spirit, you're called a true Israelite, which means prevailing as a prince of God, with the power of the prince of God, having the power as a prince of God, being grafted back in to the tree of life through Jesus Christ, who is our sovereign prince, right? Prince of Peace. He came to reconcile us, make us whole again by being born again of the Spirit, born again. That's why they call it again, so we can return to where we came from, return home. It's time to wake up, realize what the world is. Okay, we're to love and respect people while we're here, treat them good, help our fellow man, but Satan keeps us all fighting with each other to distract us from those top 1% of the world that owns over 90% of the wealth. They could clothe, feed, and house every single person in the world, every single family, but they don't. They want willful, obedient servants, and they keep us. The war is for control over our mind. Government, to govern our mind, to control our mind. That's where the battle's fought, right there, right here. That's where it's fought. Okay, so you believe in a lie? Or have you been awakened truly and born again of the Spirit? Can you see the truth, or you believe in a lie? You're an eternal spiritual being. These decisions, and you're deciding it for yourself, where you go, where you're going to end up for eternity. Choose rightly. All those who try to save their lives will lose it. What have you joined yourself to? What are you hanging on to? All right. It's the best I could do, as quickly as I could do it. Hopefully this will get out. We haven't been taught right. Wake up. Wake up. All right. God bless. Have a good one. Bye.